the Passion narrative. We could go through any number of stories from the Gospels to show that how from the original Markian version we got the later, more embellished versions, until the point at which even the post-resurrection appearances were put back at the end of Mark as a sort of addendum. So we can see how there's been cross currents of development, and in actual fact, at least I can appeal to the broad brush idea of most scholars when I give Mark precedence, because very few people will agree with JP about Matthean precedence nowadays.
All right, well, thank you very much for being on the programme today. You've presented a very interesting case this afternoon, Ken. I'm sure it's given much food for thought for people who...
Hard-hitting, I hope.
Hard-hitting, certainly hard-hitting, and thank you, JP, for your hard-hitting response as well. So, yes, your final analysis, JP, if you would.
I don't really need to add a whole lot. I think it's been demonstrated that this is the case for J&E simply is based on making new rules as you go along that would not be applied to anyone else. And this whole question of, is it this Jesus, the one that did this or that? I have some information for you, Ken. The domain name Jesus, the guy who worked miracles, didn't exist.com is available if you want to make use of that. But you might want to abandon JesusNeverExisted.com if you want to go in that direction.
Well, I will as soon as you supply me with some evidence.
It's all over the site. Have fun.
Well, JP, thank you very much for joining us as well. It's been fascinating getting your input as well on this. Yes, if people want more, tell us a little bit about your site and what the kind of materials on there are that people will be able to access.
Oh, good heavens. Well, if you go to the front page, I have over 1,500 articles, essentially. I have book reviews, I have things on doctrine, I have things on the literature aspect, I have a little on Old Testament, not too much. I have some stuff on some historical issues, social science issues, even extended things like the Inquisition a bit. And I do some stuff on Mormonism and some of the other cults as well.
Well, thank you very much for being on the programme today, and I'm sure our paths will cross again at some point. And thank you, the listener, for listening, whether you're a regular listener or this might be your first time listening to Unbelievable. This is the forum where Christians and non-Christians get together. Pretty hard-hitting, heavyweight stuff a lot of the time. We've gone to a pretty, high-level, historical level here, but I think that's appropriate and right, because people like Ken, with their websites that are now so easily accessible on the internet, you don't have to go to a library to look this stuff up, it's available in your front room, are making bold claims, and it's important to know where the arguments lie on both sides. I hope you've had an interesting encounter with those arguments during the course of the programme today. Thanks again to both my guests, JP and Ken. Don't forget you can get this programme online now, premier.org.uk/unbelievable. And if you haven't subscribed